You are listening to The Pilgrim on the 405 with Will Christ. Join him as he and his guests discover how businesses thrive in California.
Well, welcome to The Pilgrim on the 405. We have not quite an international call today, but an interstate call with Jim Riley, who's sitting in his big pickup truck in near Kalispell, Montana, going to tell us all about his experience with a variety of great companies and his entrepreneurial journey. So welcome, Jim.
Well, thanks for having me. I'll apologize for being in the big truck. I'm trying to be like Grant Cardone or Andy Frisella. They're always doing these podcasts from their cars. The reality is I left Montana. I needed to get to California, and this was the quickest way I can get there. So I'm in my car between here and there.
All right. So tell us about when did you move to Kalispell?
Yeah, great question. I've actually been in Kalispell the last 2.5 years. I was a Orange County native. Worked for businesses down there, built businesses, started businesses, and thrived and enjoyed the lifestyle. But I waited later in life to have kids. And when I did have kids, I thought, it'd be nice to raise them on a ranch with lots of farm animals and learn, kind of the ways of the world. So we moved about 2.5 years ago. Great.
Super. So tell us about your entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, I have an interesting story, Will, and I love to tell it, and I hope your listeners will be patient. I know we've got a little bit of time. But, my story centers around, at least my entrepreneurial story, it centers around, kind of where I made a transition or a pivotal point in my careers. People that have known me for a long time know that I worked for In-N-Out Burger for many years. My brother was the CEO of the company for 35 years. He's still in the trustee. His sister-in-law is the owner of the company. And I absolutely loved and adored everything I did there, but I got bored very quickly. As you know, being a Californian, the menu's super basic, hamburgers and fries, and my marketing mind wanted to go beyond that. And I was fortunate enough to go on a missions trip through Mariners Church there in Newport Beach down in Mexico. And I learned a lot about the needs of others down there, specifically some orphanages. And I decided when I returned back from that trip that I'd make a transition out of my corporate life at In-N-Out and into more of an entrepreneurial life or a life of giving back. And that really started my journey of a few different business opportunities, a few working for others. But at the end of the day, it culminated into me starting a tequila company back in 2007, in which we had some initiatives where we gave back to not only the orphanages in Baja and in Mexico, but also the school system down in the Guadalajara area. So, from tequilas to wines and beers and consulting, I've been across the board from an entrepreneurial standpoint, but it's all been centered around giving back since I learned that lesson early in life.
Yeah. Well, it's really important and significant to me that when I hear people talk about government being smaller, which is a kind of a mantra in many places here in Orange County, that at the same time, because of compassion, that means that we've got to get bigger in terms of giving back. Now, it's not giving back so much as it is sharing, giving, responding to the needs that are out there. And I think that's a very significant thing. If people who have resources are not sharing those, then other people who feel that need, they're going to be asking, how do we get how do we get resources here? And so what I've been impressed with is there are people like yourself who are out ahead of the need and coming up with ways of meeting those needs. And I think that's really important for any successful business person.
Yeah, it's interesting. I worked with my business colleague a couple of years. He was my coach, and then we turned into business partners on consulting and podcast guests, and that's David Meltzer, who's there in Orange County. Great guy, great influencer. But, Dave talks about the importance of making money as entrepreneurs. And it's not from a greedy standpoint. It's from the ability to give back when you find that success. And what we find in making money and helping others, that it's through us that money flows on to others. And, you know, the dynamic of it, and Dave preached this forever to me, is that when you get into that zone, it comes back to you tenfold, which of course allows you to give back even more. And that's really what's allowed me to live in Montana, by the way, is helping others. And